Hello everyone, today we will be ranking every element on Wildcat's Revenge. This ranking is a bit subjective as to what counts as an individual element, but I made a list right here. I would say the ride has 13 distinct elements or sections of the ride that can count as one part. The elements that count have to A. provide some form of force, or B. be moving at a high rate of speed. Essentially, everything will count as an element besides the lift hill, brakes, and station for obvious reasons. Some of the entries, especially the ones in the middle of the list, I was kind of indecisive as to where to rank. I'm indecisive when it comes to ranking stuff in general, so just keep that in mind. And with that, there's nothing else to note, so without further ado, let's get started. In last place, at number 13, we have the overbank turn between the third and fourth inversions. This is the one part of the ride that doesn't provide any significant force. This element just serves as a turnaround between the third and fourth inversions. You do take this element fairly fast, so you could say it has some fun factor, but this is still the weakest element on the ride. At the number 12 spot, we have the pre-lift. This part of the ride can range drastically in quality depending on where you sit. It's progressively better the further back you sit. The pre-lift consists of what's basically a mini triple down consisting of 3 dips. If you're sitting up front, you only get a weak pop of airtime on the last dip. If you're in the middle cars, you get 2 airtime pops on the second and final dips. And if you're towards the back, especially the very last row, all 3 dips will offer pops of airtime. Even in the back row, the airtime strength isn't particularly strong, but it does feel abrupt. Even though this is the second weakest part of the ride, it's still a decently fun moment, but that just goes to show how great the other elements are coming up. Dropping in at number 11, we have the final inversion on the ride. This element is just an average 0G roll. You get some negative Gs going through it, as well as a little laterals. This would be a great inversion on most coasters, but this element is just okay on this ride. Still fun, but it's the weakest inversion on the ride. Hitting the top 10, we have the off-axis step-up. At least that's what I call it. This moment will provide a short burst of airtime for all. However, it does feel a bit stronger up front, but it's still good in any seat. This is probably the shortest entry on this list, as this element goes by fast, but it's still a good airtime moment that would be memorable on most other coasters. Coming in at number 9, we have the step-up underflip. This is the first inversion on the ride. This element consists of an upward 0G roll, followed by a curving drop. In the front row, it feels the most snappy while offering negative Gs. In the back row, you don't really get much whip, but you still get the negative Gs going through it. This element honestly feels like a reverse death roll. It's still a good element, but the elements are gonna get continuously better from here. At number 8, we have the first drop. This first drop is probably the best drop in the park in my opinion, and this is a very good first drop. It's at an 82-degree angle, and in the back row, you get some good ejector airtime on the drop. Even up front, you still get some floater. This element is most certainly best in the back row for sure. And honestly, there's not too much to say about this element. It's a great element, yet it's not even in the top half for element on this ride. Halfway through the list at number 7, we have the first wave turn. This element is good in all seats in my opinion. Everyone gets some glorious sideways airtime. The airtime isn't as strong as some of the moments coming up later, but it's still a strong airtime moment regardless. It's also fairly high off the ground, which adds to the fun factor a little bit. Coming in at number 6, we have the 0G stall. We're starting to get to the more memorable moments now. There is not one bad seat on this element in my opinion. This element will offer a few seconds of inverted airtime / hang time, and then the exit has very good whip in the back rows. Everyone stays levitated out of their seat until they hit the valley after. It's great. This is almost the best inversion on the ride, and overall, depending on where you sit, it can be. However, hitting the top 5, we have the third inversion. This is, in my opinion, barely the best inversion on the ride. This is a 0G roll, but with demented profiling. I would say sitting on the right side of the train in particular is where you want to be. However, the real magic seat is sitting in the front right seat. If you're sitting anywhere towards the front and sitting on the right side of the train, you quite literally get inverted ejector airtime due to how this element is profiled. Now, the other seats are still good, and you will still get some good negative Gs regardless of where you sit. However, the front right seat in particular is absolutely demented on this inversion. Not only do you get inverted ejector airtime, but you also get good laterals simultaneously. Although everyone will still get laterals regardless. So yeah, this is either the best or second best inversion on the ride, depending on where you sit. However, I'm giving the slight edge to the third inversion just because of how crazy it can be. And now we're about to talk about all the truly elite elements on this ride. Dropping in at number 4, we have the Camelback. This element is great no matter where you sit. It offers powerful and sustained ejector airtime throughout the entire train. This is what I wish Skyrush's airtime hills felt like. If only Skyrush didn't have bad restraints. There's nothing else to report about this element. It's pure bliss. Hitting the final 3, we have the Double Down. It barely even is a double down, but it's whatever. This element consists of 2 half hills. It starts as a step up before you turn suddenly, and then drop back down. This element offers 2 great ejector pops no matter where you sit, plus a nice burst of laterals. Up front, you get the best airtime on the step up, while those in back get the best airtime on the step down. This element feels out of control, especially because of the sudden laterals you get halfway through. It's so intense that when you're standing near this element in the queue, you can hear the wood creaking. It's so based. All the way up at number 2, we have the second wave turn. This element is outstanding in all rows. Everyone gets insane sideways ejector airtime. It's much stronger than the first wave turn. It's especially insane if you have a good amount of room, and you take it with more speed. This coaster alone probably has at minimum the 4 best airtime moments in the park. Now let's get to the obvious number 1. And finally, at number 1, the best element on Wildcat's Revenge is the finale. The finale consists of the small little dip, followed by a bunny hill, and a step up into the brakes. The first dip only offers a faint bit of floater for all, but that's just the appetizer. You then have the bunny hill, which offers legit monkey ejector airtime for everyone. If you know, you know. It's crazy no matter where you sit. That bunny hill is probably the single strongest airtime moment on the ride, as well as the best airtime moment in the park for that matter. You then step up into the brakes, and everyone gets yet another great burst of ejector airtime. However, you get an insane last-second lateral slam as well. And the finale as a whole is elite no matter where you sit. It really tests those upstop wheels, and this ride as a whole really tests those upstop wheels to its limits. And that right there is my ranking of every element on Wildcat's Revenge. How do you rank every element on Wildcat's Revenge? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.